Are you struggling with the idea of moving to Wesley Chapel, Florida? Maybe you're not struggling. Maybe you're just not sure if it's going to be a good fit. Well, in this video, I'm going to share with you 7 cons and 7 pros of moving to Wesley Chapel. This information has allowed many of my clients to make a more informed decision. Watch to the end for a special bonus that I put together just for you. All right, so let's start off with traffic and congestion. First of all, where is Wesley Chapel, Florida? So if you'll notice, Wesley Chapel sits right off of State Road 54 and I-75. That's pretty much the beginnings of Wesley Chapel. It goes down back here onto the county line and a little bit onto Wesley Chapel Boulevard, but that kind of gives you the basic idea. Now, you are about 30 minutes from Tampa, so downtown Tampa is only 30 minutes away, but this area here at 54 and then down here at 56 gets super crowded and congested during rush hour traffic. So early morning, late afternoon, early evenings can be a bear. 56 and 54 can also be a bear. Traffic down here can be horrible at certain times of the day. Anywhere's down 56, traffic can be horrible. Morse Bridge is actually not that bad. If you look here, Morse Bridge comes across both 54 and 56. It's kind of a back road. There's some other, like Bruceby Downs can sometimes be pretty congested, but this area here and back here, just, incredibly congested and backed up. And the further you get towards Tampa, like if you're coming from downtown and you're wanting to get home, I'll kind of give you a better idea. Here is downtown Tampa. This area here is what we call Malfunction Junction. So that's where I-4 and, made a mistake. Right here, I-4 and 75 come together, or 275. This is what we call Malfunction Junction. That is probably one of the worst places that you can be when you're trying to get home, especially at like 5 or 6 o'clock. So if you're taking from the downtown Tampa area, you're taking 275, you're going through I-4, or going past I-4 and Malfunction Junction, and then taking that all the way up to 75, okay, which you have this area here where 275 goes into 75, and 75 kind of comes up. So if you were coming from Wesley Chapel, you would take 275. If you were heading towards, say, the Lakeland Winter Haven area, you would take 75 and then head out to I-4. So you've got a lot of places where things can get pretty impacted. And so that's probably the number one biggest problem when it comes to traffic. Number 2 is road construction. If you look in Wesley Chapel on 54, and then down here on 56, and even all the way up here on 52 around San Antonio, you're going to find a lot of road construction. It gets to be kind of a drag. I know the area is growing. I know that there's a lot of stuff going on. There's a lot of new communities going up, but road construction everywhere, detours everywhere can kind of be a pain in the butt, basically. And so that's something else that you may want to think about, before you start looking at moving to Wesley Chapel. 3 is home values. Home prices have gone insane, and Wesley Chapel is no different. When you look at the home values in Wesley Chapel compared to other areas like Orlando or even Tampa, you're still above where even Tampa is. Tampa's probably around 550. Wesley Chapel is 535 to over 550, depending on the community you move into. Home prices have skyrocketed no matter where you go. Orlando is close to the 5s now. Tampa hovers around 5 to 550. No matter where you go, home values have crept up and up and up. Now we're seeing some reductions. We're seeing the home values drop some. I think a lot of that has to do with people putting their homes on the market a little bit too high, sometimes a lot too high, thinking that the market was what it was a couple of years ago. And we're seeing a lot of price drops. We're seeing some of them, pretty healthy price drops, sometimes $40,000, $50,000, $60,000 at a shot or more, depending on the home. So, you have that to deal with, but there are some values out there, some really nice homes out there for you to choose from that are. So don't think that just because the median value of homes on the market runs around 535 or so means that there's no homes below that. There's tons of homes that are more affordable. There's tons of homes that are priced well above that. It just depends on what you're looking for, but the median value is kind of like the middle ground between the highs and the lows. So let's move on. The next thing is going to be the lot sizes of the newer homes. So new homes that are being built right now, a lot of them are on much smaller lots, and you're kind of packed together. You have very little room between you and your neighbor. Now, when you start getting up past a certain price point, around the low sevens and above, you can get into 70-foot lots with a brand new home, and you have a lot more room. But not everybody wants to spend that much. So it's really going to depend on your budget and what your goals are. Now, there are other homes in the market that are on larger pieces of property, but they're few and far between. They get eaten up pretty quick. And so if you're looking for something like that, you want to act quickly. You want to get a good search going. You want to make sure that you know exactly where you're looking and you know exactly the kind of property you're looking for, so that you can kind of snatch that up before somebody else does. All right. One of the other negatives, number 5, is the distance from the beach. If you love going to the beach, to give you an example, on the Gulf Coast, Clearwater Beach is about an hour and a half to 2 hours drive from Wesley Chapel. And so that may not be, your cup of tea. You may want to be closer. I don't know. But if you can deal with an occasional 2-hour trip to the beach, not a bad deal. You're getting a really good area to live in, but you're still a lot farther to the beach than you may want to be. But that has its negatives and positives, all on its own. Now, number 6 is the limited availability of public transportation. Florida, other than the bigger cities, is not known for having huge amounts of transportation publicly. So you're not going to find trains and trams and, all of this. You'll see a lot of Uber, a lot of people using Uber and Lyft. You're going to see some public buses, and you're going to see, an occasional train, but you normally have to take a bus to the train, like the Amtrak, to go into like Orlando or Tampa. It can be kind of convoluted, and you end up with stops. It's kind of strange. So really, aside from a local cab, you don't have a lot of options when it comes to public transportation. And so aside from those, there's not a whole lot left. For the most part, Central Florida tends to be more car-driven than public transportation-driven. And if you're really good at planning things out and using some of the resources that are online, like Walk Distance, I think is one of the websites, you can find places where you're close enough to things that you want to be close to, grocery stores and whatnot, that you can walk or ride your bike. And so there are those opportunities, but we would have to work together to determine, where those opportunities would be for you and how far you feel like you would want to walk. So that's a completely different story, and we'll get to that hopefully in another video. Anyways, the next thing is tourists. There are a lot of different attractions in Wesley Chapel, big malls and outlets and so on and so forth, and they attract a lot of tourists. And so there's a lot of foot traffic. Sometimes there's a lot of people, just crowds of people at certain times of the day, and that may not be appealing to you. So that would be something else if you're big into going shopping at outlet malls and stuff like that. You may have a little bit of a hard time at certain times of the day because it's so packed up with people and there's so many things going on, and you've got to wait an extra long time to get stuff done. So, all right, that's the cons. Let's talk a little bit about the pros. So, number one, again, very close to Tampa, within a half an hour. That means you have easy access to pretty much everything that you would need to get into in Tampa, whether it's going to work in downtown or whether it's, the shops in Carrollwood or Hyde Park in South Tampa, whatever the case may be. You've got plenty of things that you can do within 30 minutes or so of Wesley Chapel. That's why Wesley Chapel has been like the predominant area close to Tampa, the suburb of Tampa, as it were, even though it's not in Hillsborough County, it's in Pasco County, but everybody kind of considers it the predominant suburb of Tampa. Very affluent communities. You've got a lot of upscale neighborhoods like Vita's Way. And by the way, I have a video of a new home build in Vita's Way. You can check it out right here. But home communities like Vita's Way with gorgeous, humongous homes, swimming pools, and the whole 9 yards. I mean, absolutely stunning. You're going to find a lot of those upscale kinds of communities in Wesley Chapel. You're also going to find a lot of older communities too, but you're going to find a lot of upscale, either brand new communities or older communities. And so it's a great place if you're looking for something a little bit above board. Number three is the cost of living. Overall, the cost of living is only about 5% higher than the rest of the country. And so it's reasonable enough. I'm not going to say that it's cheap because it's not cheap, but it's reasonable enough that you can get in there and do the things you need to do, buy your groceries, do whatever. I mean, come on, eggs are almost, like $5 a dozen now, or a flat. Everything has gone up since 2022, 23, 24. So we know where that's going. Hopefully that's going to get better, but at least it's not unreasonable. Like if you were to go down into Miami or into Orlando or Jacksonville, you're probably going to find yourself paying a bit more. All right. Number four, you've got a lot of outdoor activities, nature preserves. You've got Flatwoods Park. It's a wilderness park. It offers all kinds of stuff like hiking, biking, walking trails, all of that stuff. And it's just a really neat place to go and explore nature and just relax. And my family has done that many times. We've gone out to Flatwoods and had a blast out there. There's a lot of, if you're active socially, number five is the social scene. And when I say social, there are a lot of parks and a lot of organizations, whether it's Little League or anything like that. There's pickleball courts. There's racquetball courts. There's churches close by. There's synagogues close by. I mean, you've got a lot of opportunities to socialize with other people. And so if you're looking for community events, golf courses, pickleball, racquetball, all of that kind of stuff, tennis courts, you're going to find a lot of that right there in Wesley Chapel. Now, as far as healthcare goes, the biggest hospital there is Advent Health in Wesley Chapel. Advent Health is a fantastic hospital. I know this firsthand. My wife suffered from bone marrow cancer, and Advent Health was what got her healthy. She had a bone marrow transplant, and at the end of the day, after almost 4 years of going through all of this with her and the doctors and everything else, they did a fantastic job, and she's fantastic now. I mean, she's healthy, she's happy, and she's doing her own thing. So I give credit to God, and I give credit to Advent Health for all the things that they did to help her through that and the science that they used to do that. So fantastic healthcare. And the last thing is economic growth. There are a lot of new retail hubs and attractions like the Wiregrass Mall and a few others. And that brings me to the next thing. And I promised you guys a bonus. Well, this is your bonus, okay? I'm going to give you 10 different attractions that are in Wesley Chapel that you need to go check out. Wiregrass Mall is just one of the things that are out there. And I'm going to tell you right now, I am a huge burger connoisseur. And so Wiregrass Mall has all kinds of stuff. It has all kinds of shops. It has restaurants. It has Barnes & Noble's bookstore. But I'm going to tell you, if you want to get some really good food, if you love Mexican food, there's Azteca de Oro. That's a fantastic Mexican restaurant. If you're a beer drinker like me, the Brass Tap is out there. If you're a burger connoisseur like I am, Red Robin, and be careful with Red Robin because Red Robin has an endless basket of fries. You will fill up before your meal comes. And there's Grillsmith. I've been trying to think of Grillsmith since I started this video, and it just didn't get me. But Grillsmith has a lot of other good stuff. They have steaks and all of that, but they have a fantastic burger. And so you've got a lot of different shops, including JCPenney's and all of that. Even a Jabs Boxing at Wiregrass. But along with all of that, in the area you have Epperson Lagoon, which is a 7.5-acre man-made lagoon that you can go there. It's got crystal clear water and sandy beaches, and you can slide down the water slides. You can rent kayaks. It's just a lot of fun. You've got the Tampa Premium Outlet, which is sort of like the Wiregrass Mall, except it's all outlet stores. You've got another brewery, Florida Avenue Brewing, or brewery company, and they've got a lot of crafts beers, and you can kind of like sample the different beers and whatnot. Cypress Creek Preserve is another outdoor nature area with hiking and biking trails. Oh, this is a really good one. This is an excellent one. Advent Health has an ice skating center. So you can go there and ice skate. I think they have hockey. They have figure skating. They have programs for this stuff too. And so that's kind of cool. Pop Stroke is a golf experience. It was actually designed with input from Tiger Woods. You've got Rocks, Crystals, and Gems, which is an attraction for those interested in geology and natural history. And then you've got the Avalon Park Wesley Chapel. It's a community hub that has events with food trucks and cultural performances and all kinds of cool stuff. So this is probably the biggest reason why Wesley Chapel has become a favorite suburb of Tampa. Now, if you're looking to relocate to Central Florida, or you're here already and you just want to buy or sell, connect with me. Just go to www.talkwithvince.com and let's get connected. So hope you guys enjoyed the video. Let me know in the comments if this is a great place or if you think that there's just too much traffic and congestion, and I'll see you on the next video.